It always sneaks up on me. Hello, 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 and good evening. Or maybe it's good morning, good day, good afternoon. Maybe to a few of you, good night. But welcome to Biz with Joy, Leaders Leaving Legacies. I am Joy Ruffen, and the work that I do is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And all of those are connected, they are aligned. And you belong right here on Biz to Biz with Joy because you are in leadership. I thought today, by the way, the work that I'm doing, it is with women who are transitioning before or after 45 to 55. I'm changed that because I was told by a very good friend that that's the audience that I ought to be seeking. I'm looking for women who want to know and stand in their power and know how memorable and unforgettable they can be once they know how to dress that body. Casual has taken over, but that doesn't mean you have to follow the crowd. You can be your own person and do your own thing. And that's what we discuss together. It's really a matter of caring. You have to care, because if you don't care, this is not for you. And leadership means that you lead, but you know how to follow. There's a big, big difference. So that's why today, in Biz to Biz with Joy, Leaders Leaving Legacies, I gave this conversation that we're going to have, I guess it is a conversation, this title, because there's so much in the atmosphere today that all of us in leadership, we need to really be aware of and in sync with. So the definitive checklist for change. Change is a very, very big word. Don't overlook it. Don't misconstrue the meaning. And getting smart with your influence. This word influencers, experts, and all these others that connect to that, it's going around now, around and around and around, because all of these different platforms, so many people are getting on, and it means that we have to be more in alignment with what change means to us. And the change, my friends, you already know this, but I'm just that voice inside repeating to you so that it resonates, that you are the change. It all begins with you. And again, I'll be repeating this throughout the conversation tonight. Know thyself. One of the things that I've started to do here is bring to you, and by the way, I think I said, but sometimes I don't ever want to forget, welcome. Welcome to Grow Your Business in Style, Leaders Leaving Legacies, because it's too easy to assume. I think we all do that from time to time. I never want to assume that you're there and listening for the here and now or the replay, because your being here and tuning in whenever you show up, it matters to me. And even though I'm not the biggest numbers person, even though so many people will tell you it's all about numbers, it's all about numbers, one of the quotes that I love the most, and I hope you can appreciate it, is this. It's all the time on the telly, and as I go back and forth, I hear it, and I always put a big smile and a little chuckle inside comes up, because it says that it's referring to something else, but I'm applying it to numbers. If numbers, it says if size, it starts off, if size was the number one factor for making a decision, then the elephant would be the king of the jungle and not the lion. Woohoo! I love that. So I just changed it around. And I said, if it's quality that you're looking for, as opposed to numbers, because even though numbers are important, I'm not dismissing the value of numbers. It's more so the quality. What is the quality that you're looking for? And do you really value and appreciate not only in what you're going to receive, but what you're offering? Because it's all about value. So I thought you'd like that, because it's really not about size. It's about quality and the value that you receive based on what you're looking for. In that, we're talking about a checklist for change and getting smart with your influence, because it really is all about, you're in leadership. So it really is all about your influence. And influence matters. I don't care how you dice and slice it. I start off with quotes. Love quotes. And so I'm going to share them with you. I hope that you value them too. And if not, well, what can I say? I gave up a long time ago trying to appease and please everyone. And this one is really apropos for what we're talking about tonight. You can't be comfortable and influence change. Let that sink in. Because too many people are following and tap dancing and copying and doing what everybody else is saying if they think that if they heard or if they received or see that it's profitable for that person. Boom, boom, boom. Onto the bandwagon they go. But if you want to, you can't be comfortable and influence change. It has to be you. It has to be emanating from the source and the core of you. Your presence, your image, your essence has to be in that influence that you're about changing. And for me, it's all about women waking up to realize how really significant and powerful we are. And it's not just about the body parts. That's just one of the avenues. It's all about leadership, but that leadership starts with us first. And here's one that ties into that. You'll love this one. You'll love them all. If you want to help others, oh, by the way, that was by, I love unknowns and anonymous, because I don't have to try to pronounce some of these names, but that was anonymous. Probably somebody somewhere in the name God, who knows? The other one that ties into this, if you want to help others and become a person of influence, this is what's powerful, my friends. Keep smiling, sharing, giving, and turning the other cheek. I bet some of you just know who said that, because he's so very popular and definitely influencer, if that's a word that appeals to you. John C. Maxwell. If you want to help others and become a person of influence, keep smiling, sharing, giving, and turning the other cheek. You have to turn the other cheek, because people are saying you, well, I don't like this and I don't like that and that doesn't fit me, blah, blah. That means they're not for you, or they're not ready, one or the other. And most times, my friends, what I've discovered in love, I don't operate in any other way. It might appear so sometimes that I'm not, but it's always in love. They're just not ready. They have not received their awakening, because it's their time, but they're not ready yet. And I love the word yet. Let us begin with this one, because it pertains to all of us who are in leadership. Whether we were picked or chosen, however we deal with that leadership is our responsibility, because this one is beyond, way beyond powerful. It's potent to the core, because this is where many of us, and I was guilty some time ago when I began this journey, because you hope and you pray, and yeah, but it's more than that. Nobody can change your person. No one. You want to think that you can, but you can't. But someone can be the reason for a person to change. That's another unknown. And if you really give that deep thought, you are being the conduit, you're being the catalyst, and the person that channels whatever it is that that person receives, that they're able to empower themselves. That's all that you can ask for. Because some people, and especially, sad to say, because I'm a happy senior, the older people get, the harder it is for them to change. That's not for everyone, but it's too much of a larger percentage of those who just, this is the way I've done it for a lifetime. This is what I've always done. This is how I've always looked. This is how I've always been. And so, boom, they're not going to change. So it's up to you to make that decision, to contingent upon the people that you're working with. And someone once said this, I'm bringing all of this stuff in because I just love it. You will never influence the world by trying to be like it. We are in a time of big, big change. And our key role, our key assignment, you know I love the word assignment. There's certain words that, don't we all just love them because they connect to our soul? They connect to the essence of us. Because if you're in leadership, really and truly to know thyself is major, prime, paramount. You can't skip and dance around it and make excuses. And making excuses never works anyway. It's really know thyself. Really, meaning be honest with yourself. What you can do, what you can't do, when you need help, how to ask for it. All of those variables come into play. It's so meaningful today. And this is one of the reasons that I align with this beautiful human design specialist, because I discovered in my own short journey myself and doing the work that I'm doing that so many of us have no clue about who we really are. And we just keep doing the same things over and over and over, dressing, speaking, acting, the whole 9 yards. That's not where change is going to happen. Change, you have to be open. You have to be open to your own knowing of who you are. And then hopefully you want to be able to influence others because you do know who you are. This is so really powerful. Why? Because today, this time, I'm in this box. I'm looking and talking to you in this box. It's become one of the key means, ways of communicating all over the world. It's exciting. It's beyond exciting. Yet, there's a little clinker there. Technology has brought about a whole new way of connecting and sharing and giving and exchanging and being intimate with people. In many ways, and AI now is coming in. It's scary and fascinating for some. It's absolutely, people are over the moon over it, sitting on it, as I do often. But the reality is you have to know how you're going to utilize it and how far you're going to work with it. Because your purpose and your sense of fulfillment, it's only going, and fulfillment is the word. I didn't say contentment. There's a whole, words are powerful. They're like night and day. Because this is what happens to so many people that we know, love, and applaud and celebrate. They never got that sense of fulfillment from within. They might have billions of dollars. They might have been at some point in time one of the most brilliant, beautiful people. Doesn't matter if you don't get that sense of knowing who and feeling who you are. We have to start thinking about that because that's really, really important. And my friends, again, if you're here and you're here for the replay and this appeals to you, then share it out, because sharing is just another means of giving and sharing the love and appreciation that you have. Just make sure that you do that because it does say a lot about you in good ways. Sharing is good. This is my Facebook business page, and this is my group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. I say it all the time, you belong there in leadership. There are women there who I think they came on because they like the name Leading Ladies. Maybe not really knowing what that really means. That means that you're a leader first of you, and then you're about leading others because you're giving the love and the wisdom that you have and the knowledge. So you belong there. So go and join the group. It's a great group and you will be welcome there and embraced, and you'll meet other leading ladies that you can hopefully collaborate with. That's what it's all about. This is my gift. Take a screenshot and a snapshot of this link here. And let me share, before I go any further here, why I'm doing this. I am not leaving my leadership and style work at all, but I am adding this in for the reasons that I stated, because I find that a lot of us, for all the numerous reasons, and they're never ending, and everyone is different for each individual, yet knowing who you are, getting another handle on who you are, can never harm, can never hurt. And let me share with you that if you're in leadership, one of your first assignments is to really know who you are. This human design and this beginner's report that you get, which is a freebie, gives you a lot of insight, and then it's your decision to make. If it's not for you, think about the young people that you know and love, because the whole dynamics of the family has changed tremendously. It's like night and day. Kids don't get what maybe many of us were able to see, even if it was dysfunctional, a word that's kind of expunct, whatever now. Doesn't matter. It's not even used anymore, but I love words, so I use everything. But the point is, if you know of someone that you adore, appreciate, value, love, extended family, relatives, nieces, nephews, cousins, however it breaks out, extended, then get the report for them, because it's a really great avenue into the exploration of who they are. And let me also end with this. There's no faith, no belief or system that's going to be distorted or destroyed because of this. It's simply a means and a way. You somewhat have to be on the spiritual path. And let me say that the spiritual and the religious, they both have a lot of homework to do to rise and keep climbing and soaring to the best, as we all do. So I'm not preferencing one over the other, but I'm saying for those who are zealots about their religion or even maybe spirituality contingent upon many variables, that's your decision to make. I'm not going there, but I'm telling you this is nothing that's going to harm or hurt you in any way. And in conjunction with that, it's all about communication. How are you communicating how and what you want to do to influence? The best leaders surround themselves with other leaders and other people of influence that they can grow with, and vice versa. There is no fear or envy or jealousy because it's all about growth. You can't grow if you stay in the circle where you're not going to be able to expand your horizons in every way. And this is what so many of us do when we're dealing with all of that insecurity and all of that stuff. I like to say stuff that's holding us back. That's what we tend to do. Surround ourselves with people who won't help you to grow as you support them. Because the thing is, you never know who's watching and seeing and viewing you. I have discovered that because I'm thinking, well, maybe they don't, but I tell you, I hear in so many subtle ways, and not sometimes subtle, that people are watching, they're viewing. But for whatever their reasons are, they don't want to be seen or say, I was there and I saw. And it's okay, I get that. But how you engage and communicate with other people, it's really important if you are in leadership. And the truth is, most everyone ought to be in leadership. How do you evolve, elevate, and energize and embody all the goodness and the richness in you if you stay in a circle that doesn't support you in rising, in scaling to where you're meant to be? Who are just giving you all the accolades and the compliments and the applause when they're not telling you things that are going to support you and help you to be better. That doesn't help you. It might excite and get you, but it's not going to take you anywhere. If you're in leadership, you need the good, the bad, and the so-so, and the almost there. And maybe a little bit of the, but that's your decision to make. Because leadership calls, especially today, we have so many where their ethics, their integrity, their principles, their character, they're questionable. They're very questionable. I'm not talking about just many of us who are working here online. There are many here too, but I'm talking about our political arena, the government. It's really, you wonder. And then there's also always the opposite side. It might be smaller in number, but they're there and they're watching too. But you have to be aware of how you want to accelerate who you are and where you want to go and who you want to be. And let me just share this with you because well, what can I say? Why have our schools stopped teaching American history? I mean, one of my favorites as a young girl was Mark Twain, and they took him out. It's not funny, but why? It's part of history. You can't be politically correct and keep everything where it's clean as a slate and there's nothing there that you could. That's not Americanized awareness and the ability to be and see and share and communicate all the different varying viewpoints. Yes, I read Mark Twain. I heard and read and was able to understand what he said and the words that he used. Even as a young girl, I'm saying, but that was back in the day. You can't, you're like tearing down the statues. Oh my God, I'm beginning to digress here, aren't I? I do that from time to time. But so many classic books they're took out because they're not allowed. We have to end with a bit of humor here because if you don't have humor and if you can't laugh at some of this stuff and even at ourselves, then we really need to get back to the drawing board and start all over again. How do you get smart with your influence? Well, first off, we have to be honest with ourselves. And let me just say this because it seems that a lot of people are saying this now, and maybe it's the first time that I'm hearing it and it's being said, and maybe I don't know, it really doesn't matter. But don't forget who you are. And don't forget who you're here to be. And if you're not sure and let's find out. It's a journey. It's an adventure. It's an assignment that was given to you when you arrived here, when you popped out of that womb, all of us. And the assignment is to find out, what are you here to do? What are you here to be? Not everyone is here to be in leadership. And so many of us, meaning women, we have to really get more in sync with who we truly are, because far too many of us are just not aware. We're still in the bubble. We're still drinking the Kool-Aid. The conditioning, the programming, and all of that restrained, numbed, repressed everything within us, that has to surface now. It's time to wake and to know how powerful you are and how much of an influence you can be and how much you are here to be, especially for younger people. One of my friends said, I say this every now and then because I heard it again today, just because you age, just because you're maturing, doesn't mean that you've gained wisdom. For oftentimes, too many people, it means that you're just growing old. Aging is inevitable. I like pro-aging. I like agelessness, and I like proactive aging, pro-aging. I don't like anti-aging because aging is inevitable. It happens to everybody. You can't be an influencer if you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, and you're attempting to be 30, 40, 50. It doesn't compute. But you can be when you know who you are and you celebrate all of you. You can be an influencer because you're standing in your power, knowing who you are. There is no influencing without that, because people can read you up, left, and sideways. I like to say that they can see you as opposed to read you. People see what they want to see as well. And oftentimes people will see in you maybe aspects of themselves that they want or they don't have, whatever the reason might be. But your assignment is simply to be the best of you, because you're not going to be able to draw everyone to you to be the influencer that you're here to be. It's just not going to happen. And nobody can change, but someone can be the reason for a person to change. That's unknown, but it's so powerful and it's so true. And never forget that you, in everything that you do, this big word change is there. The pandemic really brought it home for all of us, no matter what business we're in. And here's what Mark Twain said. I wanted to end with this because I thought it was important. But before I do that, let's talk to a checklist for change. And you know, one of the major components of change for men and for women, it's just not for women. It's maybe more so, but for men as well: emotional healing, emotional security, emotional intelligence that will lead you to emotional stability. That's what we need, all of us. Meaning accepting the beauty of who we are, whether we're the elephant or the lion or the monkey. I'm just using animals as an example, or the butterfly. It doesn't matter. There's beauty everywhere. And we have to get away from this Americanized, idealized sense of beauty. I think I stepped away from it. I stepped away from it a long time ago, but people don't even see their own. They're so busy emulating someone else. Again, I digress. Let me just tell you what Mark Twain said, because my work as a signature style specialist, it means a lot that you really get this. And there's humor here. I was told, don't attempt to qualify what you want to say. So let me back up. Here's what he had to say. Mark Twain said this, and I happen to have read Mark Twain. My God, how old were we read? Do they read? I have to check with my younger kids. Anyway, here's what he had to say. He said, "Clothes make the man." You remember the time period that he was in, right? It still holds true. Naked people have little or no influence on society. If you can't laugh at that, then you really need to go back to the drawing board. Because even though I'm telling you as a signature style specialist, how you dress and how you show up still matters, there are ways, even in this casual mode, that you can do it with elegance and sophistication and grace and elegance and class that fits you, no matter what category you're in. Because showing all the body parts and the hugging and then that's it's like today, it's like so many are walking around like in the nude. And I'm going to leave with this because I don't even attempt to be anymore. Leggings, jeggings, and tights. I mean, when you see them out and they're not worn in the way that they ought to be, you've never seen so many BUTT, and I'm going to put the S on there, that are absolutely horrific to look at. I don't know if women even look in mirrors anymore. And that's not a judgmental description of what's seen. You have eyes, you see too, and you know, but nobody speaks to it because everybody's saying, I guess, well, what happened? Why are they doing? They don't know. Nobody said. The mirrors are extinct. They don't exist anymore. And because we all want to and we're hungry for attention and to be desired and desirable, we think because that's what much in the entertainment industry has projected upon us, we've just embraced it. But let me tell you, in order to enrich your life and be the influencer that you want to be, you got to stand in your memorable, unforgettable presence. And everyone has it. And I end with this. You are royal, you are regal, rare, and you are beyond majestic, stately. You are, no matter what size, age, color, race, all of that. But you have to know who you are. You have to embrace the core essence of you and get to know your temple, this vessel, and dress it so that it showcases you. No matter what the style preference is. You can be edgy. You can be eccentric even, eclectic, and all those others. But find your rhythm and your flow that gives you that whatever it is that you need. Because so many people I saw a beautiful picture today and I'm saying, beautiful woman, but it's all wrong. Wrong for me. But people will tell you what they think you want to hear. Let's stop that. Let's get into the checklist for change and first begin with ourselves and then begin to look and get smart with how we influence others, your influence. That's the only way this change is going to come about. And we're in the throngs of change. And power belongs to you. You don't have to go out and seek it. You don't have to look for it. It's there for you inside. Find a way to have it awaken so that you can be all that you're here to be. You want to know what your purpose is with clarity. And you can only do that when you're honest. Honesty, it hasn't changed since the beginning of time. Know thyself, and honesty is the best policy. I saw this woman today, and I'm ending with this. I ought not to. I don't judge, but I can't help what I see. Her eye makeup, I'm telling you, and she was on, I do love Judge Judy. Do you love Judge Judy? I love that woman. She is beyond hilarious. But this woman's eye makeup, and I could see that Judge Judy wanted to say something and somebody was holding her back. I'm saying, did she look in the mirror before she left? Because the eye makeup was like for 20 people. It wasn't just for one. I hope you get that. My friends, the definitive checklist for change, it's you. Getting smart with your influence. Knowing who you are. Keep smiling. I love this. Sharing, giving, and turning the other cheek. That's by one of the most popular personal development coaches in the whole world, John C. Maxwell. And he's more than that, aren't we all? But just remember that. Be you. And this expression, which in the beginning I said, but I'm beginning to get the rhythm of it now. Be the best you. Don't settle. Don't reside. Be all that you're here to be. And know, by the way, that you are always welcome here. And I love your little comments back and forth. So please be able to share them when you can. I'll see you tomorrow night. My featured guest speaker, life happens, things happen, and the beauty is that you rise and you just do what you have to do. So it'll be me solo, but I don't mind. I have no shame. I ought to have, I suppose, but I don't. Be well, stay safe. I send you, as I always do, much, much, much love. Until we connect again, and we will tomorrow night, I send you all the best always. Take it, embrace it. Much love. Good night. Cheers.